welcome back to another episode. Wait, hold on. Yeah, well, sorry, I'm a little drunk. Welcome back to another episode of Remake Our Life. This episode is titled We'll Figure It Out, and it is I, your host, the sadistic spirit guide Yokai Poppy Wolf, bringing you my own perspective, ideas, and thoughts on this whole episode. And wow, I'm kind of really happy about this episode. It's a nice turning point. New problem definitely requires a new solution. So let's jump right into it. So the episode begins kind of with Tsuruyuki and fucking kyoya waking up on each other. They're not naked and they didn't do the good old the bedroom ballroom dance. They decide they just fell asleep, and she just happened to fall asleep on top of him. And right when they're about to kiss, and it seems like they're having a fling, kind of like something. Of all people that walk in, Nanako walks in and saying, "Can you keep it down?" And it's just very apparent that Nanako is jealous and she has a sort of resentment, but there's nothing that's fully focused on that. So I'm really happy that we're not overly focusing on a love triangle. Thank you, Jesus. But it is apparent that Tsuruyuki has just not been attending class. He's been ditching for work and everything, and everyone's worried about him and whatnot. But come to find out, he's just been overworking. He's overly exhausted. He has to go to the hospital. They tell him he needs to chill for a while because his body can't handle all that stress. And we get the big reveal that he's actually really rich, but his parents want him to be a doctor. He doesn't want to be a doctor. He just doesn't want that life whatsoever. But he is forced by his parents to do that. So it seems. We'll find out later what it might really be. So because of all that's occurring, he's trapped. He has no money to pay for school because his parents don't want to pay for his school. He's been paying out of pocket, but if he can't work, he can't pay his job. But then again, at the same time too, if he's missing classes, how is he in for work? Then he's paying for nothing at that point. So of course, being the big brain leader of them all, Kyo decides, you know what, we're gonna find a way to pay for your intuition. We're gonna find a way to use all our talents to pay for that. Well and behold, let's make a doujin game. And never did I think in a million years that making a doujin game or doujinshi game was gonna be how these guys were gonna make enough money to support their friend. Hell, I didn't even think I don't want to believe it's that easy, but they all decide that this is the best course of action to help Tsuruyuki like stay in the house, stay in school, and not have to go home and be a doctor or whatever he doesn't want to do. So it seems. So he kind of course, being the director of it all, Kyoya illustrates everybody in their respective corners. He has Tsuruyuki drawing the girls, getting the art piece going, and he has Nanako doing the music, and then he has Tsuruyuki doing the writing. They have no idea at all what a doujinshi game is, so he has to show them. Nanako is, for lack of a better word, just does not understand it, and she figures out why people like it. Tsuruyuki's worried because these games require certain lovey-dovey scenes that are very adult, and he has no experience doing them. And Tsuruyuki just, drawing people, bodies, and all that, she's just not very adept to it. She doesn't get the dimensions right, and she's trying to figure it out. That being said, the first big crisis isn't about making the team and getting them ready. It's about distribution and finding a person that they're able to sell through this. So he goes into Keiko senpai. Keiko's like, look, I wanted you to make a hint, I'm not gonna say the H word. I wanted you to make a doujinshi game for me, but if you want to make one through us, I'm willing to give you the name, but you have to make it something that sells, so that way, I kill two birds with one stone. You produce a product for me that I originally wanted you for, but now I'm letting your team be the one that does it, and you'll be able to have the profits to pay for your friend so he stays in school. Sounds easy enough, but while they're walking around, they do stumble upon a girl with a white beret and a huge monkey looking security guard that will be further elaborated towards the end of the episode. but it's very hinted that these people are in town. With the whole speech with Keiko and meeting with the professor, they decide that this course of action is fairly fine, that it's okay that they're going through these means of helping their friend out, and that none of this is like any way against school policy. And when asked, is everything going smooth sailing, poor Kyoya, his audio composer is learning how to do it all online. And if anyone who's ever composed music online understands, it is stressful, it is hard, and it's really hard to do the whole bar format, and it can get tedious. And it isn't hard to learn from what my buddy has told me and what I've kind of like picked up from him, but it definitely does take the true initiative to learn it. That also being said, for Tsuruyuki, he is just writing very romantic scenes, very loose, very he paints huge worlds. But with these type of games, you really don't have to do too much. You just have to really make the characters love story the most impactful part of it. And it's kind of hard for a person who I'm guessing has never been in love. Kyoya is able to find an artist that does great background imaging for a lot of these doujinshi games, and he decides to get him now when he's still at the school. But the guy is really good, only for the fact that he just can't draw female or male characters. But hey, give him a background, he will paint something magical. So it seems like everything can be good. It's just hard sailing, and they're working on the writing, and it's almost there. They all have dinner, and then everyone starts noticing, hey, did you see that weird girl in town with the white beret and everything? And everything starts hitting Tsuruyuki all at once. He goes, oh my lord, I know who this is, I gotta leave. And you're thinking, oh my god, who is this? Is this his family coming to get him? Is his family some yakuza? I know he said they're doctors, but what's going on? Lo and behold, seconds before he can even reach the door, monkey security guy that is there, the big old gorilla dude, and the girl reveals herself to be I think this was so good. It's actually Tsuruyuki's fiance. I was thinking it might be his sister or his family trying to track him down. No, it's his fiance, which begs the bigger question: is what he told Kyoya really the truth, or all the truth? I think he just doesn't want to be married because he doesn't know how to handle romance. But hopefully this will teach him the experience he needs to learn how to write romance in a video game, or maybe she can influence it and help. I thought, of course, that of all people who were gonna the way it was gonna work was that Tsuruyuki was gonna have something for Nanako, and the fact that he couldn't be with Nanako because she's kind of almost obviously in love with Kyoya was gonna cause grief, and that was the storyline gonna take place. But I can see the storyline being the Tsuruyuki and Nanako are both affections, and this is what's going to cause the storyline for their doujinshi game. Hopefully it goes all well, but we shall see. There's a lot of stuff in this episode that was fun. I like the fact that Kyoya really doesn't want any of his friends to feel like he did. You really got to give it to a character who doesn't want his friends to ever feel like they can't, they're fucked out of their choice. And he goes a long ways to make sure that they don't ever have to feel that way. I think that's what I admire about him as a character, is that he doesn't want them to feel like he felt like that he couldn't do what he wanted to do. He didn't have a choice. He was, put on the burner for so long, and he wants to be able to inspire them to be the best selves as possible and have the best options to be the best selves as possible. And you gotta love that. That big hidden twist at the end, I didn't see it coming. When she said she was a fiance, I loved it. I was like, ooh, and it added a bit of spice to the episode. Is this how he's gonna learn how to write male and female relationships? Is this how he's gonna write the doujinshi comics? Who knows? I'm actually pretty inspired to see how this goes. That all being said, guys, this episode honestly was pretty good. 8 out of 5 out of 10. Nothing great happening. It feels like the start of a new adventure, and I'm all here for it. And I can't wait to see what this next episode brings us. So I will catch you guys in the next episode. Peace out, peace and love, and adios.